So I just took a look at the high-grade G-line standard armor, which is a p-bandai, of course, which is why I got the knockoff. But this one is from ZD or ZD, however you want to say it. I say ZD, you say ZD, it doesn't matter. It's fairly good. The only big problem I have was the shield just doesn't want to peg in. I haven't taken it up yet, because this is going to be the first of it, possibly more than one if I have other ones like this, because there's actually two, and they're each from a different company. On the left we have ZD, on the right we have JMS. I have looked at JMS kits quite a bit, and I have to say they are amazing in terms of what they add, and it's not always a lot. So we're going to take a look at these, because you know, at a surface level, looking at it from this distance, you probably think they're essentially the same colors, nothing that looks out of proportion here, but it's when you start to look at the finer details that you start to notice, like the armor paneling. It's a little bit, but it's there. The chest here, where the cockpit would be, there's a little bit of panel lining here. Also, they've added like vents or just a line in the chest armor here, where it's completely flat on the left one. Crotch is also a little more extra detail, just the middle section. You see little notches here in this little rectangular bit. But the biggest thing that they changed on the base body is the V. The one on the left is a sticker. The one on the right is plastic. They actually give you what would be the Bandai version with a sticker, but they give you a new piece. So no V sticker. Gee, Bandai, you could have done that. Just saying, could have done that. Didn't wanna. Cool, you know. Canadian, the thing's like $60. Oh, sure, you know, give me a sticker. So that's nice. And I think that's it for the body. I don't think anything else has been added that I can tell. It's pretty smooth kit still, all things considered. But something else that they've added. Heads look nice, right? I mean, I love this because it's very, I think I mentioned in the other video, very Jessica looking. But JMS gives you another head. It's basically the same, but it has it's got throwing action. It has a different colored orange visor. So if you decide to get two, like me, you're crazy enough, you already have them looking different. And I think that's pretty nice. It definitely gives it a different look, really, like having that lighter visor. So yeah, it looks like they're in the same company, but one's a little more professional, it's like higher rank slightly or something, or just likes to change the color of his stuff. Whatever. Now the armor, it goes on exactly the same. There's no difference there. But I would like to show what it looks like beside on armor and armored mode, since I can do that. And there's a nice look of the two side by side. So you have the, what is, I guess, just G-line, and then G-line standard armor. Of course, you know, G-line standard armor is definitely a more cohesive looking suit. It's got it, I love the actual light blue added to it, and it just looks like kind of normal. This is very lanky, which is fine, but I prefer the standard armor on it. And I just thought I'd put the other head back on so you can see, you know, exactly the same essentially. But I do like that head with the orange visor. And I might as well get this guy all decked up now. Now, for the first time, having both of these guys complete with all their armor on, it's hard to tell them apart just by holding them, moving them around. They're extremely similar and almost Bandai quality. But it's, of course, the minor differences with the JMS. I love the fact that they just don't give you a different visor color. They give you an extra head to put the visor in, and of course that V. But they did a little bit more. The beam rifle's cool, and it looks cool, and holds in the hand fine. But they did modify this one. It has a peg sticking out of the handle, where the other one didn't. It was just flat. Maybe mine wasn't right, but that one didn't have a peg in it for sure. So holding it in the hand, I'm going to be honest, is essentially the same. The problem with this guy is his ball jointed wrist is a little on the loose side, but the hand holds the beam rifle perfectly. The peg's essentially like moot, but it's there for added security. Let's just say maybe your hand, the pegs that connect the fingers break off, it'll still probably hold. So that's something. But another thing, like you still have the same backpack with the fuel tanks. You have the backpack with the 2 thrusters, 6 thrusters, all the good stuff. So while I was editing this video, I noticed something that I couldn't tell with my naked eye for some strange reason, but now that I know, I can definitely see the difference. The yellows are actually different on these two kits. I've said before that they were the same. They're not the same. I can tell now that the JMS one has a slightly darker yellow than the ZD one, and the JMS is actually the official color. If I show an official Bandai picture here, you can see the yellows are basically the same here. The ZD one is lighter for some reason. I have no idea why. And that actually got me looking at something else, because the shields have yellow. And the kit I showed in the video with the ZD kit was this one. I don't know how. I got it screwed up. And I think you'll understand when I show. This one isn't what the actual shield looks like from the official p-bandai kit. It looks like this. It has this white that feeds from the inner part of the shield through these holes. And these little nubbins here. Instead of looks like screws. And that's because this is the lighter yellow, which was on here. And this is the one that comes with the JMS. But you also get this one. I don't know what this is from, if it's from anything, because it's obviously been modified at the bottom here. Like this middle section of those holes, and then this part here. So I don't know if it's from another kit design, another Gundam. But yeah, that's really strange to me, that they didn't just give us two of the same. You get the official one and a different one. Do they think maybe you don't want to have both at the same time, and so this is like standard armor or no armor, standard armor? I have no idea what they were thinking. But another weird thing happened before I made this video here, because taking the shield, this one off the arm, and the ball socket came out. So the arm connection, because this one was, I had modified it with a little bit of super glue, here it is, the peg here, thicken it just slightly, and it works perfectly on the arm now. But when I took it off the arm, the shield came off, and this stayed. And now, I don't know why, but it will not, there's no friction, it died. The friction in the shield is completely gone in the socket, and I don't understand. I've tried all three connectors from the shields, and they're all like this. I don't know what happened. There's no difference that I know. It just came off the arm, and I don't get it. So now I have to glue the ball joint in there to keep the shield on. I am very confused. I've never had this happen in my life, where a connector for a shield just stops connecting for zero reason that I know of. I don't see any stress marks. I don't see any cracks. I don't see anything that shows it's been modified in the slightest. I'm very perplexed. Anyways, back to your regularly scheduled program. Well, anyways, yeah, the differences are really nice. And you know what, actually, I totally forgot during the video of the ZD one, there's one thing they include that isn't in the official or in the JMS. This sticker sheet. And you know what? Want to know what this sticker sheet's for? It's for the Gym Spartan. This is part of a future project, but yeah, that's what they're for. This part, this sticker here, is this part. And then you got the V, of course, and the little parts for the sensors. Why? I'm assuming this was just a mistake, but it was thrown in the box. So hey, figured I'd show it. That's the one thing that has that the JMS doesn't. And I'm sure that they were very, very, very upset, kicking themselves for not including that. So, looking at the two together, essentially, like, this guy was only, I think, $5-6, but that's because I got him from Superbuy, which is a weird place. You got to calculate shipping and all that stuff. This guy was Temu, $15. The average price is about $15 Canadian for these kind of kits, high grades. And considering the official is about $60, $65, sometimes $70, depending on where you get them, that's a really good price. And if you just want a straight knockoff, straight to the point, G-line standard armor, you got the ZD one. Because it goes together perfectly fine, and the only thing that it has problem is the stickers are kind of crap, but that's it. And the shield, of course. But this could just be mine that the peg's just a millimeter too thin. Who knows? But if you want something that is almost the same, and it's slightly different, if you like having a knockoff that has its own little bit of flair to it, which I do, you get the JMS. You get two heads, two shields, no sticker on the crotch. I am so happy, but I know it's a minor thing, but how many kits do we have that have V's in the crotch that are always stickers? Like, one of the few that don't is the entry grade RX-78 too, that I can think of. I know there's other ones, but that's the only one I'm really thinking of right now. And it has a little teeny bit of added detail in the chest and the crotch, just to throw in something, I guess, special. But and that peg in the handle, the beam rifle, for whatever reason. So yeah, if you're gonna choose, I would say get the JMS. It just has more, but it's essentially the same.